Heian Godan is the final kata within the Heian series. By this point, you should be able to show a good understanding and correct hip movement within the three basic stances. Heian Godan. Ha! Up! In this first movement of the kata, it's very important to use your hips correctly in back stance. As you prepare to block, turn your hips in completely facing target. Then execute Hamidachi, hips back as you block. From here, rotate your hips completely as you punch Gakuzuki. And finally, synchronize your hands and your feet as you stand up and punch Kagezuki. When you execute Jodan Jujuke, it's important to bring your hands to your chest first and squeeze your shoulders. From here, it's easy to snap up and block, but don't allow your hands to go past the normal Agyuke position. From here, rotate your hands round anti-clockwise, dropping them down and allowing your right elbow to touch your right hip bone. Next, as you perform Tetsui, bring your hips back into Hami position. And then it's easy to drive off your back leg as you step forward, Oizuki. The next movement is Gidan-Barai. Again, it's very important to prepare correctly. Use both hands and keep your hips square as long as possible. Maintain this position until the last moment. As you land into stance, you can release your hips and hand at the same time. You then follow with Haishuuke. Again, use your hips as you prepare, and then slowly pull your hips back into Hanmi as you extend your hand out. From this position, you use your left leg to drive into Kosudachi, but as you do so, make sure you pivot on your right heel so your foot faces target. Then again, as you drive into T-stance, pivot on your right heel and make correct preparation for the jump. When you jump, make sure the initial movement is transferring all your weight onto your left leg. From this position, you can easily bring your right leg up as you bring your hands to your hips, and then your left leg quickly follows. Make sure you land in a solid Kosudachi and back completely straight. Up! Finally, from Morotuke in Hamidachi, prepare by bringing your left hand up to Jodan, and then use your hips to drive into Zenkudachi and Gidan Shito. Make sure your hips are square and your front stance is in a straight line. Then finally, bring your hips back into back stance and make Manjikamai. Don't have your back hand too high. Your wrist should be the same height as your eyes.